Sean Zattel here, former junior middleweight champion of the world, Ishe Smith. Ishe, I remember when this fight got announced, you weren't really disrespecting Conor. You go, I'm happy he's making money, but now that it's fight week, what do you see happening?
I think he's going to lose. I've always thought he was going to lose, but I am happy he's making money. It's a rough business on both sides, on the UFC side, on the boxing side. Some people say UFC side may be rougher because it's controlled by one man, which is Dana White, a very good friend of mine, and he's a powerful man. Some people may say it's rougher on that side. I don't know the business dealings on that side, but whenever you can go out and be on welfare 4 years ago and you can go out and make the kind of money he's going to make, I'm happy for him. I'm probably one of the few fighters that's not, I don't find it disrespectful at all. He's a superstar in this sport. Floyd is a superstar in boxing, and I'm happy he's making some money.
Is he going to make it the distance with Floyd? Is he going to make it all 12?
Absolutely not. I don't see that at all. People don't give Floyd enough credit for his power. People don't give him enough credit for the level of opposition. Look, man, when you step up to a certain level of opposition, you're not just knocking guys out no more unless you just clip them. I mean, those things go out of the window. You know, when you're A-level fighting A-level guys, you're not going to knock them out. Those guys got so much pride, they're not getting knocked out unless they get tired, they get hurt late, or they get clipped with something. But you're just not going to, when you get to that certain level, guys just don't lay down easy.
They just know how to defend themselves too well?
They know how to, and they're very good fighters. You know, they're just very good fighters, and they take pride in not getting stopped, and it's tough. It's tough to fight, to knock guys out at a high level, so people don't realize Floyd's been fighting high-level guys for years. For years, so, you know, he's a very strong fighter. I've been in there with him. He's very pinpoint, accurate punching power. And I just think with 8-ounce gloves, it plays right into it's an advantage for him. And I think if he's going to catch him, maybe in the middle rounds, I think the first 2 to 3 rounds, Conor's going to try real hard. And I think after that, Floyd's just going to catch him. He may knock him out early if he gets careless with the pressure and things he's going to try to do early.
How do you foresee it? Like, is it going to be on the ropes or Floyd's signature right hand, body shots? How do you see him getting out of it?
I think he's just going to get clipped with a counterpunch. That's what I think. He's going to do something silly, get clipped, and get knocked out.
That's what Jay Leon said. He's going to try some crazy SHIT and run into it.
Right. So I think that's what's going to happen. So, like I said, Floyd's a great fighter. He deserves to go out the way he's going out. He deserves to go out the way he wants to go out. And you can argue with him being of the greatest of all time. You could put him in that conversation with Ali, with Sugar Ray Robinson. You may not agree that he's the greatest of all time, but he's in that conversation. And I don't think anyone from this generation right now is. His era of coming up, De La Hoya, you know, Shane Mosley, Bernard Hopkins, those guys aren't in that discussion. Roy Jones Jr., they're all not in that discussion as the greatest of all time. So whether you like him, whether you love him, or whether you hate him, you have to put him in that discussion.
Those guys you named are all great fighters, but you're saying they're not in the conversation for greatest.
No, they're great fighters. They're Hall of Fame fighters, but they are not in the conversation as the greatest of all time. When you think of Shane Mosley, you think great fighter. You think Oscar De La Hoya, great fighter. Think of Bernard Hopkins, hell of a fighter. Think of those guys, all great fighters, Hall of Fame fighters, but you don't think of them as the greatest of all time. You will be able to put him in that discussion, and he's earned that right to go out how he wants to go out.
I'm gonna finish it on this, Ishe. When I ask everybody in the boxing game, they shut this down, but I think it's because we're all in the boxing world. Do you think to people ordering this fight that don't watch boxing or even MMA that it's important Floyd stops Conor for the image of boxing, for the reputation of boxing?
He needs to stop him for him. I mean, it's not boxing versus UFC. You know,
some people make it that.
Yeah, if I went and fought in the UFC, I don't think if I don't get stopped, that's a bad look on the UFC. It'll be a bad look on the guy I'm fighting, you know. So he needs to stop him for himself. Floyd's never going to do nothing for a sport or for this person, that person. He's always going to do what's best for him. And I think deep down inside, he knows he wants to stop him. So I think it's a bad look on him. I think he wants to stop him, and maybe inside he says, you know, I want to get him out of there. But I don't think it's a bad look on the sport because, you know, things happen. Shit, you know, sometimes you don't knock everybody out. And what is he don't knock them out is, oh, boxing is crappy? No, it's just maybe, you know, something happened. But I think Floyd gets him out of there. But I think if that doesn't happen, it's on him, not on the sport itself. But I think definitely Floyd knocks him out.
Hey, thanks so much, as always, for your time, Ishe.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.